This is the Crookedrivercast. And who are we? Well, we're Rob and Tom, two guys just trying to keep track of what is going on in this great state of Ohio. This is show 68 for the week of August 3rd, 2000. August already? Oh, crap. Let's go. In the morning, sir.
In the morning.
How's this fine morning going for you?
It's going very well. How about you?
Good. I mean, it's going to be a nice day, I think, today, and I don't think I have to cut the grass, so that's always a plus on a Saturday.
Yeah, it looks kind of cloudy out there to me.
My point is, any day I don't have to cut the grass.
Oh,
nice
okay. I got you. Yeah.
Not that I really cut it that much anymore because I have minions for that.
Yes, the minions.
But I guess we'll start the show off with one quick little least mention to, I guess we have to say, R.I.P. John C. Dvorak. I'm sure most people who listen to this show, who already also listen to No Agenda, have heard that he passed away. But great tech writer from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, the crankiest of all geeks. And but I don't know. Have you listened to any other Adams podcasts since all this past couple weeks?
No, I haven't listened to any of the No Agenda since his passing.
Well, I listened a little bit of the new, so they have Darren O'Neill and Void Zero, I think, doing it. I think that's what
I think they're just doing it for a couple of weeks, right?
Well, that's kind of one of the reasons I brought it up, because so when I heard of John's passing, I went online and I saw Adam had posted about a day or so later, he posted, hey, We Get to Do This podcast is up. That's what he does at his religious podcast with his pastor Jimmy.
Oh, I see. So
that was they had delayed that just to make sure the newsletter come out so everybody would know. So he wasn't going to announce it on that show anyway. So he talked a little bit about it, and I subscribed. I said, it was a nice show. I hadn't heard it before. Well, I listened to it this last one.
Yeah,
it kind of sounds like I don't think Adam's going to be on the show anymore.
Oh, on No Agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to be involved, but I think he's going to come in and out. This is basically what he said on the. I think We Get to Do This. He's basically going to be coming in and out. He's going to help produce the show, but I think he's done doing it on a daily basis and being the host.
How can you move on like that?
I know. I've been thinking about it for like 2 or 3 weeks, and since this or 2 weeks, whatever since it happened, I'm going, how does he? And that's what I think we talked off the mic and said, yeah, you basically just have to almost completely change the show. You can't try to make it the same show or the same. You can't try to replace.
Well, I mean, even
curmudgeon,
right. No, you're right about that. But I mean, from Adam's point, how do you keep doing it? Because John was half the show. And frankly, I listened to it because of John.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could say in many cases more than half the show. No offense to Adam, but his personality and that's really what I enjoyed from it was, okay, I see this great thing in the news. How's John going to crap all over it? That was and I look for it. I want somebody to pull me back from the clouds or the edge or whatever it is. It's either doom and gloom or it's so good it's too good to be true. And then someone needs to tell you it's because it's not true.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard. I listened to a little bit of it, of the new one, and they got good chemistry. You could tell they had their own show for like 4 or 5 years, very similar to No Agenda. So
I figure it's going to take a little while for it to kind of develop. I mean, because are they still doing the news breakdown type of thing?
Yeah, that's kind of what, according to the first half of the show I listened to, that's basically what they did. We just basically copied No Agenda.
Yeah.
We would just pick news or clips that angered them.
Gotcha.
And I forget what they called their podcast. Rage or something or anger or something or other.
So are they not going to do their podcast?
That I didn't get to. I don't know.
Huh.
Good question, actually. I don't know.
I wonder what Adam's going to do now. I mean, I know he's got his own other little podcast, but No Agenda, I'm sure, took up quite a bit of time for him.
Yeah, it sounds like he's going to be involved with the production and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for a while.
And it sounded like he created all kinds of stuff for these two guys to go off of and use. And these guys are saying this software that he's written, Adam, is amazing for podcasters, and it might be an exit strategy for Adam. It's literally one of the comments they said.
Make it easy. Say that again?
He's written a bunch of software for these two guys just to continue the show, like clip stuff and a bunch of different stuff they didn't really get too much into. Adam even talked a little bit about it in his podcast. But the Void Zero is saying, or whichever one was saying, like, this is good stuff. You could probably sell this. Like, this could be an exit strategy for him. Like software to help you play clips and software to do a bunch of other things they were talking about.
Well, I like that.
I was like,
that's
I'm
not
interested.
An exit strategy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, depends on, he's 60, so he could be a side gig while you're retired kind of strategy.
Yeah, he's not going to retire.
Probably not. No, he's going to keep going. I think he's really focusing on we get to do this podcast. That's what
we get to do this?
Yeah, that's he does with Pastor Jimmy.
Oh, I hope that's not the only one he does. He's too good of a broadcaster.
Yeah.
He's not a podcaster. I know he is, but
that's what
he's too good. He has to do more of a big time show, like a No Agenda. I've heard his other podcasts. They're more like podcasts, like kind of like ordinary.
Yeah. Does he have any other ones besides we get to do this?
Well, he did what I don't know. I'm assuming he's still doing one with his wife. And he was doing another one that was kind of like a podcasting 2.0.
Yeah, he still does that, I think. Yeah, but I don't think that's just.
But those are like podcasts. Like No Agenda, the way he handled it, the way he played news clips, the way he played intros. I mean, that was like hosting a radio show.
Yep.
Like live broadcasting. I mean, I don't know if he can get away from that. That's the other thing. It was live. No Agenda.
Yeah. Live to tape.
Yeah. Well, basically. Whatever. Yeah. But it's that's a different skill set than like this.
Yeah. And maybe that's his contribution to the show would be to be that behind the scenes guy, kind of pushing that along and helping them kind of do what he did, and maybe mentor them into maybe being a little bit, I don't know. Yeah. You could tell. I could just tell he was just, I can't, he never said it, but it just felt like the way he was talking is I don't think I could do it. You could tell he just lost all, I don't want to say lost all interest, but yeah. Like you're saying, how do you do it without somebody like that, like your partner for the last 18 years? You just don't.
Right. But I mean, he might get the bug again.
Yeah, that's true. That's the other thing. And he always had the ability to come back on, and maybe they make it he makes cameos every once a week or something like that.
Or he just develops a show with one of them or both of them even. Why not?
Just so you know, I mean, it's only been like a year and a half. So I'd probably find somebody to replace you.
I have no issue with that, even if I'm not dead.
I mean, 5 or 6 years we talk about it, but right now, either one of us are expendable at this point. So speaking of that, we're back from our rejuvenation break. We just said, screw it, let's just take a full month off. Freedom. We took a freedom month off. Blew a bunch of fireworks off.
We took MAGA month off.
Yes, MAGA month off. I don't know if I told you this, but after 4th of July, we had both our neighbors across the street came over and thanked us for the fireworks show.
That's very cool.
Yeah. I was like, and then, the neighbors behind me, they were whooping and hollering. I was worried about them complaining because they get some of the shrapnel from our fireworks.
Yeah, your houses are pretty close together for a show like that.
Yeah. And so everybody was happy. But the biggest news right now in our house is we have a new driver in the family, Tom.
Cool.
Passed her test with flying colors.
Excellent. Awesome.
Yeah. And boy, am I happy, because sitting in that car while she went through those cones, I mean, I think we went out at least a dozen times. I'm like, can I jump out? Can I get out this window? I think I can get out this window. Get me out of this.
What did she score on that?
On the maneuverability, she got 100%.
Okay, because that's what I got 100% on that. I remember on my driving, I got 70 something.
Yeah, she got like a couple of knocks on her driving, and it's hard to determine what it was, but I think she stopped too soon or too soon in front of a stop sign. I think that's what they knocked her on or something like that.
Okay.
There's a couple different things. She turned a little bit, something or other, and whatever. It's all, she passed, and she's
sweet.
But yeah. So then we had to call the insurance company.
She's your chauffeur for her sister.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't have to pick her up from school, which is a bittersweet. It's bittersweet because at times it was a little, I got to make it over there now.
Yeah.
But it was really good just have her locked in a vehicle for 15 or 20 minutes every day.
Gotcha.
So we had some good conversations. I know we're going to miss those, but we'll figure something out. But anywho, I guess we should probably get into something other than what we did the last few weeks.
Good, because now I can stop watching the body cam footage that I've been watching for a month and addicted to.
You too. Yeah, I've been doing. Yeah, we may pull one of those on the show. Come in very soon. I have a feeling.
Oh my gosh,
it's hard to a lot of them because they're so visual, right? But yeah,
I do listen to a lot of the reaction. Like, yeah. I'll listen to like Asmund Gold react to a body cam footage, and like at work, I'll listen to it. Occasionally, I have to turn my head and kind of see what the hell's going on, but it's pretty. You can kind of get a good idea without watching it.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah, but
I don't even know if the visual is as important as just the way people crash. Yeah. Like they just break down. Like they can't think for the next 5 seconds. Like, what's going to happen if I do this?
I just watched the Hodge twins do an Asian couple. Like they were somewhere in Florida, some timeshare thing. I don't know. They were on a sales floor. I think they were like going to buy a timeshare or a condo or something like that. I don't know.
Oh.
But they got trespassed.
The timeshare people should have been arrested, not them.
Well,
go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know exactly it was something about buying something in the community. I don't know. So they were trying to get there for 5 hours. They were trying to work with this lady and this couple, but it's actually a good one because the dude they're both Asian. The dude, but they're American. They're not like from Asia. Right? You could tell the one dude's holding the baby and the wife won't leave. Cop's like, just leave now and everything's good. They don't want you here anymore. They're not going to sell you anything. Just leave now. And he's going, come on, honey. And she ain't even paying attention to him.
Oh my God.
So she gets arrested right in front of her kid. It was like, dude, okay. And you know what? Because I was waiting for the guy to come in and be like, don't arrest my wife. No, he just turned around and started talking to the, like, kind of giving the sales.
To the other girl trying to pick her up?
What?
No. He's like already left his wife.
He's trying to pick up one of the sales chicks on the floor. No, like he was just kind of like, you know what? You know what? He's probably thinking, a night off.
Get this quiet hotel room to myself tonight.
Because they were ripping on him big time, the Hodge twins. They're like, what? You could tell this guy never said no to her. So, anyways.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Stop watching body cam footage and let's talk about flock cameras. What's the difference?
So much better.
No, not even close. Actually, the body cam has become quite a treasure trove of enlightenment to many.
It's the greatest thing BLM has ever given us.
Yes. Be careful what you wish for because you just might get it, and they have. But these, on the other hand, are not the same. So basically, I caught this video by Ben Jordan from a year ago, and I went, this is interesting. And of course, the algorithm, and I think it's becoming a bigger story as in the last week or two, or maybe it's just my algorithm, my feed. But then I see there's a story on, there are some stories nationwide about people going after these cameras. And if you don't know what these are, we'll get into them. But basically you see them on almost every street corner, it feels like now. And they're a very inconspicuous black egg-shaped camera usually with a solar panel on it. And they're license plate readers. They take a picture and log every license plate that goes by. So a lot of them are being vandalized.
Surveillance 24/7.
A lot of them are being vandalized. And so then now I get, as I'm researching some of Ben's videos, I see News Channel 5 has a video or an article. And I didn't even pull it up. There it is. So, string of vandalized flock camera spans Lorain County. So there's some interesting parts of this, and it's accident. Maybe it's not that interesting. There's typical. We'll just listen to what News Channel 5 has to say.
Law enforcement in Lorain County is investigating a string of vandalism. Agencies across the county and in nearby Ashland County have reported damaged flock cameras. Those license plate readers have become a controversial surveillance tool. Many don't expect the debate to cool down anytime soon.
These little cameras have become a big source of controversy. I'm your Lorain County reporter, Catherine Ross, and this camera smashed here in Huntington Township is one of several investigators say were targeted by vandals recently.
Vandalism it's a felony. It's actually a felony offense.
It comes amid growing debate over who's using these cameras and how. From the rolling farmland on the southern county line to busier residential areas, flock cameras throughout Lorain County are battered, smashed, and even missing.
We've had one shot. We've had several cut off the pole. Suspects are taking some type of blunt object.
The Lorain County Sheriff's Office says its flock cameras have been vandalized at least 5 times in the past several weeks.
We're at a point where 2 of them at one location, we may have to set up like special details.
Police in Lorain, Amherst, and Elyria say they've all...
So they're now going to have... They're now
cameras
thinking about
for cameras.
No. He said details, which means they want to... They're going to have a police car watching the camera.
They're going to be missing all the crimes because they're relying on the camera.
Because they were watching the camera.
Right.
Okay, continuing.
Been hit too. This week, Elyria police arrested a 22-year-old for destroying this flock camera on Infirmary Road.
What's his
He's
name?
Now facing felony vandalism charges.
Can we start
with
GoFundMe?
These cameras being damaged, it kind of hampers us with our investigations. They are a very helpful tool.
Major Steve Scharschmidt says the license plate readers have been a game changer for recovering stolen cars, finding missing people, and even solving a recent homicide. But Flock has come under fire recently as some question whether they violate people's privacy.
So I think one of the reasons that you're seeing people going after the flock cameras themselves, as opposed to engaging in a political discussion or a legal discussion about it, is the sense of frustration.
Case Western law professor Michael Benza says it's turned into a Fourth Amendment debate. News 5 has previously reported on that debate, including protests about outside agencies like ICE accessing Northeast Ohio cameras.
This is just as much a political and social issue as it is a legal issue.
Benza anticipates the issue eventually moving through the courts, but some in law enforcement believe the tools are misunderstood. Scharschmidt says there are guardrails and parameters to flock searches. He tells us the damage is not an effective protest and is doing more harm than good.
We need to sit down and discuss this. I don't understand the mentality, the mindset, like I mentioned earlier. Big Brother's not watching you. You're a law-abiding citizen. You have zero concerns. But it is doing things and helping with solving crimes.
In Elyria, I'm your Lorain County reporter, Catherine Ross.
Let's pause this for one quick second. There's a few more seconds left, 40. And there it was. And that's what we always hear. I heard it from the left and the right. Well, if you don't break the law, what do you have to worry about? And then Trump gets in the office and everybody on the left goes, oh, the Patriot Act, I don't like it. Yeah. Because you don't know who's going to be in charge of this information. Oh, wait, we'll find out actually later. We don't actually know who is in charge of this information. But, okay. So there's vandalism. What do you think was Flock's response to the vandalism?
I have no idea.
Oh, they got a warranty program.
And there's more. Flock is now taking notice of the recent rash of vandalism against its cameras. It's adding a new service for clients. A blog post dated July 14th directly references damaged cameras and announces a protection plan to repair or replace covered cameras in case of vandalism. There's a whole section on Flock's fee schedule page for equipment replacement.
They love it.
It lays out various costs like $800 for a camera that needs to be replaced because of vandalism, theft, or damage, or $0 if you have that camera protection plan.
Yeah.
There's no pricing information for that protection plan itself.
So Flock's reaction to you damaging their cameras is? Yeah, we'll just sell more cameras or a warranty, a replacement plan. It's like your cell phone plan. You can just smash all you want. We'll replace them. Okay. So let's look. What's Flock? Let's hear this. So this was the video from a year ago. This guy Ben Jordan. Ben Jordan is he says he's a musician. I'm not sure what he plays. I know like in some of his videos in the background, I've seen one of those like techno boards where they plug wires in and they make different sounds and modulate frequencies. Synthesizer kind of boards, where it's like like an old switchboard kind of thing. Kind of cool stuff.
It's this old synth.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true. Yeah, because that looks old, so that means it is. But yeah, because it is. I've seen a couple videos on it. It's kind of cool. You can make a lot of stuff with it. But I'm not sure if he plays it. That's what he does is music. But he's got music on Spotify, and one of his current projects before he got involved with this is actually, you might like this. Musicians won't like this. He's trying to find the perfect frequency or frequencies that he can lay behind his tracks to mess AI up. So it can't learn from his songs. So all it hears is noise. So we can't hear it, but the AI can hear it. And when they hear it, it's complete crap and mud, basically.
Huh.
He said because he had brought this up on Rick Beato's channel. Something similar, maybe not exactly this, but yeah, he actually did bring this up. He said the only drawback really to some of this technology is your dog will go crazy because it's usually high-pitched stuff that we can't hear. But he on the Rick's channel, he has he built a little device that will block mics on like your Alexa or your cell phone while you're in the same room with it, or it's pointed in a similar direction. So that's he's kind of a nerdy musician.
Yeah, he's trying to block things that nobody's listening to anyway. So all right.
Well, no, but AI's listening to all the music on Spotify, so
it's not trying to learn from him.
How It's learn from everything, isn't it? Doesn't it just gobble everything up? I think it's interesting. I think if you could, they're stealing everybody's crap and making its own out of it. So why not fight back? I don't know. Is it going to do anything? No, I just think it's pretty cool, geeky shit. And here's his intro to this video. Again, this is about 11, 12 months ago. When he started finding cameras all around.
If you're an American, you've been probably seeing a whole bunch of these things. And in some places, they're so common that you don't even notice them. They just blend into the background like they're trees or streetlights. And you've probably correctly assumed that they're recording traffic. They're also recording and logging license plates and using AI image recognition. But what if I told you that they are, in fact, not owned by your local police department or your local government, but are licensed to them by a third-party startup? And all of your vehicle's whereabouts are being tracked by a third-party data broker. What if I also told you that major retail chains are also using them, and they're combining your vehicle's whereabouts with your personal information, your shopping habits, and even your in-store behavior. And some of them are giving that information to law enforcement. And what if I told you that I just possibly may have come up with a way to break it?
So I think, he brings up the shopping centers. If you go into a lot of Lowe's or Home Depot, Kohl's, they've got these little independent, they're cameras. It's like looks like a trailer, and then it has a pole that goes up, and it's got a bunch of cameras on it. That's what this is. These are maybe not Flock cameras, but exactly the same technology. Because there's more than one. Flock is a organization. Flock is a business. We'll get into actually the next clip. Let's listen to what Flock is and what it does. This one's a bit long, so we'll start and stop it. I got a couple spots, but it's interesting the tie-in between all the data that we have out there. And it's starts to get a little creepy, but we'll get into it. Let's go.
Flock Safety is a startup that was founded in 2017 that specializes in developing and leasing security cameras that have AI capabilities such as license plate recognition and vehicle identification. And these security cameras feed into databases that law enforcement, private companies, and even private citizens can access and utilize. And if you own a car in the United States, you have unquestionably been logged within one of these databases. It works like this. You drive past a Flock Safety camera and it records an image or video. An image segmentation model or something similar looks for the license plate itself or a rectangle with some key identifiers like tail lights or a rear window. Once it is confident enough that it found a license plate, it sends a portion of the image to an OCR model or optical character recognition, which is probably the most widely used type of AI for consumers. For example, it's used in PDFs or any type of automatic data entry like scanning and cashing checks on your phone with your bank's app. AI like this typically uses a confidence level threshold. So if the OCR model is above, say, 90% sure that your license plate was read accurately, then the information is saved with a location and timestamp on it.
Okay, so I really hope it's more than 90%. Because a 10% incorrect rate seems awfully high, no?
I suppose.
And as you get through some of this stuff, then he's tearing down, because he's got 5 or 6 videos of this. He's tearing down some of his equipment, and the software is not very good. It's not very accurate. And he brings up a couple of times in some of these clips, because I kind of cut it out because it really wasn't made for audio, but he goes through a few incidents where, and you may have seen him in the news lately, but, for one example, the cops followed a family into a shopping center or parking lot, pulled them out of their car, laid them flat down on the pavement, and held them on gunpoint because they thought they were driving a stolen car, and it was a mistake on the AI, on the Flock.
Yeah. There's been people arrested for nothing.
Yeah,
wrongly accused or wrongly. I don't even know.
Wrongly identified.
Yeah.
As a being somewhere where they weren't, or, having a stolen vehicle.
I think Tim Pool is talking about some woman that got arrested for stealing stuff off porches.
Yeah.
and the cop came by to arrest her and said, "Hey, we have you on camera stealing packages like from Amazon or whatever."
Yeah.
And they arrested her, and she was like, "I have proof." I don't know, whatever proof she had.
I have proof where I was at that time. She had videos.
And the cop basically said, "I don't care." He just arrested her because that's his job. His job is not to be the judge.
Yeah, so that's a tough position for the cop to be in.
A good cop, not. But
you call a supervisor,
mm-hmm.
or somebody else to come over and let's figure it out. But so let's hope it's way more than 90%. But I'm not confident it is. And if it is, it's probably 92, 93%. And that's still, I'm sorry, 99% seems low in this case. Okay, let's keep going.
It can also classify the make and model of your vehicle and note if there are any bumper stickers or add-ons or cosmetic damage on the vehicle. And this information as well gets stored to that database. A law enforcement officer can then run your license plate and see every single time that your vehicle has been tagged in the database. So if
so your license plate, it's logging scratches, it's logging dents, bumper sticker. No, wait. Can we tag can we follow some of these blue hairs that have the entire back of their Prius covered in stickers? Well, those people might need to be.
Only 90% of it would be right, apparently.
Right, but some of them are so bad that you can tell they have anti-Trump stickers stuck over anti-Bush stickers. It's like, come on, someone needs to see a mental professional for you. Those people we may need to try to find. But other than that, so, and they're logging all this stuff. So you got a dent, you got a sticker. What kind of bumper sticker? Are you able to search for certain bumper stickers? Why not? Why couldn't you?
You're in a city that has a lot of these cameras, it pretty much has the same effect as secretly sticking a GPS device on your car. Flock Safety is also happy to provide service to businesses and homeowners associations, and those private clients often allow law enforcement to access the data from their cameras. Then there's the hot list. If law enforcement puts you on the hot list, they are notified every single time that Flock detects you. So it's kind of like having a police tail all day, every day, but without the pesky annoyances of requiring a judicial warrant to target and track a citizen who...
So you could put a tail on somebody without a warrant.
Mm-hmm.
Virtual tail. And what could go wrong?
May not even be suspected of any sort of crime. So now you might be asking, what is there to stop, I don't know, Texas law enforcement tracking women out of state who are suspected of getting illegal abortions? Or how would you prevent a jealous, abusive person who also happens to be a law enforcement officer from using the system to constantly track his ex-girlfriend and her new partner? Well, unfortunately, you wouldn't prevent it because these are just two of the many examples of things that have actually already happened. Flock Safety has exhibited the usual hyper-aggressive startup behavior that we've all grown accustomed to. Near Orlando, Florida, for example, they installed nearly 100 cameras on public roadways without even notifying the county. And this entire industry...
How does that work? So did the city approve it and they didn't want to pass the county, or did Flock just start putting cameras up on the side of the road? I highly doubt it because it needs somebody to pay them.
I don't know.
They put 100 cameras up and the county didn't even know about it until after the fact.
How do you put that up? I mean, you have to have a crew to do it, or do you just hire your own crew? Like,
no, I think they I would imagine that Flock subcontracts it.
Yeah. But I mean, if no, how did the county didn't know about it?
My thinking is the city approved it.
Okay.
But no one talked to the county about it. You would think you would need both. You need everybody's approval, I would think.
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
You would think, but of course, no.
Sales pitches police departments with their cherry-picked success stories. If we didn't live in a surveillance state, this old lady with dementia would have never been found. Or if it weren't for all these cameras, this homicide suspect would have never been taken off the streets and would still be murdering people right now. Had this license plate reader error not led to a mother and her young children being held at gunpoint, that family would have never received a $1.9 million settlement from Aurora, Colorado taxpayers. Weirdly, I couldn't find that example in any of their sales decks. From every single agreement that I've looked up and seen, the police department or local government do not own the camera but pays for their installation, then rents them for an annual subscription fee. And usually this is between $2,000 and $3,000 per camera per year, but apparently there's been a recent price hike that has strained the budgets of some police departments. In all of these agreements, Flock Safety's liability policy is extremely tight and protects them against virtually all claims should something go wrong or an equipment or data error mislead an investigation. And one of the most amusing parts of this agreement is this section that is telling the police.
So if the camera's wrong, if their software is incorrect, not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Not my fault. Hey, you figure it out. Can the cities or counties or whoever paying for the service, can they even examine the cameras? Can they have somebody examine the software without Flock's permission? Are they even allowed to audit it? Have somebody take one of them and dismantle it just to make sure nothing's wrong with it? Nothing's hidden in it? I doubt it. Let's find out.
Police department to call 911 and not rely on Flock safety services in the event of an emergency. Yikes. Civil communities, police departments, private businesses, and individuals are not allowed to sell, lease, lend, give away, auction, or otherwise transfer ownership of any of Flock's IP or hardware. At no given time are you allowed to decompile, disassemble, reverse engineer, modify, alter, tamper with, or even repair any of it. Later in this video, I'll be disassembling and somewhat reverse engineering some ALPR cameras, but not Flock. If I did have access to some of Flock's hardware sitting in a box right over there, my attorney advises me that showing you any of it would jeopardize the existence of this video as a whole. A big reason for this aggressive scaling is because the business model of companies like this is actually quite brilliant. They market themselves as public safety services licensing cutting-edge technology, but license plate readers and security cameras have existed for decades. Flock Safety and their competitors are data brokers. A city, police department, business, or homeowners association pays to borrow their cameras, and then they retain the right to make some of that data accessible behind the same licensing paywall scheme for other clients or customers. Andreessen Horowitz, who is the VC of choice for data brokers and big data startups like Databricks, Fivetran, Scale AI, and Golden, just to name a few, they've invested nearly $500 million into Flock Safety, adding another $275 million just a few months ago. These are data broker numbers. For example, ADT, the largest and most recognizable home security company and brand in the world, went public in 1969 and has a market cap of $6.8 billion. And that market cap is eclipsed by Flock Safety's recent F-Series valuation of nearly $8 billion. And it needs to be pointed out that Flock Safety and Andreessen Horowitz have spent a combined $92,680,000 in lobbying. And the vast majority of that lobbying was in the last year.
In the last year. So my question comes to my mind is, who really owns the data? Who owns this data? It sounds like Flock.
Flock, for sure.
So a private organization is logging license plates from all over the country, all over, and they're keeping the data, and they're able to do what with this data? Who else are they selling it to? And if you want to know what's widespread this is, can you type in your browser, Tom? Can you type in dflock.org? dflock.org is one of there's 4 or 5 people I've seen that are kind of helping.
Took me to Sundays for Dogs.
So DEFLOCK.org. But 6 months ago, if you go onto the homepage of dflock.org and DEFLOCK.org, I think I went on this a week ago. What's the number you see on that? It says LPRs, which is license plate readers.
123,815.
Middle last week when I went on, it was at 116,000. When I think this video, one of the videos was 6 months ago, maybe, it was 80-some thousand. And then it does have cities rejecting LPRs. So LPRs are license plate readers. And there's 97 cities that have rejected it. Can you guess how many in Ohio?
0.
One.
Where?
Kent. Shockingly enough, it's Kent. I don't know why that shocks me, but because of university, it shocks me, but Kent. So you can look at the map and find out where you live. And I guess I haven't tested it, but one of the things on this.
Oh man, this thing works good.
Yeah. Is you can actually, I haven't tried it, but they said you can apparently, it'll route you around a Flock camera or Flock cameras. So you can, what's my route without passing a Flock camera? And I would imagine at some levels you're not going to be able to. So if you take, and I was like, well, where would be I'm looking at Cleveland area, Northern Ohio, Cleveland. And there's this one spot that it's just one big blue dot. It's just all these dots on top of each other. I'm like, well, what's that? Oh yeah, that's University Circle. That's Wade. It's Euclid Avenue. It's in the heart of Cleveland Clinic.
Right.
There's 100 of them. And then we thought, well, yeah, but didn't the city of Cleveland vote down the renewal of Flock cameras?
That's what they said.
Yeah. And then you pull up the article. No, actually, no, they quietly approved Flock.
It's a temporary approval. that goes till December. But they're gonna pass it.
Right. Because in December, nobody's going to be paying attention to it because it's December, and it'll just get passed. So it's a 9-6 vote. So I would imagine in December, it'll be a 10-5 vote or something.
It's hilarious why, though, they passed it.
Why? I haven't read anything on this article.
And if you're anti-ice, you don't like flock. So a few of the council members don't like ICE using flock to arrest people.
And there it is. Be careful what you wish for, because you never know who might be in charge of that big government that you've put into place. And then we'll get into, we'll touch it a little bit on that, because then we'll as we get into a couple more of these clips, we'll start to figure out where Ben and Jordan lies on some of these issues. And I'm not sure we're all on the same page, which to me is even better, because we can find common ground on this. We can find common ground on other things. And I guess we'll keep going with, here's the next one. Could it get any worse? What could make it worse? Let's find out.
Maybe you are a law enforcement officer and flock safety has helped you solve cases. Or maybe you think that a poorly substantiated claim about a drop in crime is worth the constant monitoring and tracking of hundreds of millions of tax-paying citizens who are not criminals. And those small little glitches that result in young children being held at gunpoint face first on the hot asphalt in a parking lot are just some cracked eggs in the overall omelet that society is trying to make. And if you agree with that, and that's your perspective, fair enough. I strongly disagree with you, but this is a conversation that's not even worth having, because all of this is about to get a whole lot worse for everyone, except for the billionaires extracting wealth from taxpayers, of course.
Hey guys, Ben. I'm still in the studio. We just finished our Q1 product launch.
CEO.
Fingers are still a little bit shaky. Flock Nova is going to change the game for criminal investigations.
Really?
I've heard from so many chiefs that they have this system and that system and that system. They know they have the data, but it's taking their analysts hours and hours to build a case. And now with Flock Nova, it's one click to one case solved.
Wait. One click to one case solved, huh? Oh, it's taken me hours to build a case against... I'm sorry. Is it too hard to prove somebody's guilty? I'm sorry. How can we make it easier for you? Well, we'll use AI. Shit. Damn, I didn't think about this before. What could go wrong with AI? It's perfect, right? So how, if you're a cop listening to this going, oh, really? One click, one case solved. Oh, insulting to detect it. Like, yeah, that's sure it's that freaking easy. Yeah. So remember, one click, one case solved.
Flock Nova is a brand new product that is in beta at the time of me recording this, and it combines computer-aided dispatch, criminal records, video surveillance, automated license plate reader data, and here's the kicker, third-party data acquired by Flock Safety. What third-party data, you ask? They haven't exactly been transparent, but 404 Media asked the same question and found out that Flock Nova was using data leaked and sold from large-scale hacks and security breaches. And since that story broke, Flock made an announcement claiming to no longer be using illegally stolen personal data. Most of us at face value don't really seem to mind, or at least don't think it's a big deal that our data is being farmed from us. Like, is it really that big of a deal that your activity on Pinterest under a mostly anonymized account is being stored and analyzed and sold? Well, it becomes a very big deal when it's combined with other data and stops being so anonymous. And when your health questionnaire information on BetterHelp was sold to Facebook, where you posted a bunch of photos from bars 10 years ago, and then all of that gets bundled by a data broker with your tracked and logged bad driving habits that your vehicle manufacturer sold. Yeah, that's a thing too. Guess what? All of this may explain the reason your car insurance costs twice as much as anybody else in your age demographic. Or it may explain why you can't seem to get a good interest rate on a loan. And now, especially in 2025, where something you may have posted a decade ago will get you arrested and deported. My point is, data privacy never really seems like a big deal until it is. Some states have various laws regarding this, but nobody really seems to give a shit because in the few cases where they do get caught, the fine or settlement is a mere fraction of the income generated from buying and selling your third-party data. If a large retailer or fast food chain is not using Flock Safety, then they're probably using some other type of automated license plate reader. But once you walk in those doors, oh my God, let's just use Walmart's corporate privacy policy.
So this gets kind of crazy. So they're tying in all this information, or they could possibly, with Flock's help, get third party data. So what he's saying is, Flock was, at least, they've come out and said they've stopped that, but how do you prove this? So if there's a data breach, if somebody broke into a credit card company and a bunch of stuff got out, or and he mentions this later in one of the other clips, Park Mobile, which is a parking app that I use in like Cincinnati and Columbus and stuff like that. When you park on the street, most places they don't even have parking meters. They have a sign, and you either text or you log onto the app. You pay your parking that way. Parking garages, so on and so forth. So they're going to take all this data. They're going to take stolen data and then use it to help find out what. Almost anything, I think, they can probably find out. And again, who owns this data? Well, some of this stuff is stolen.
Policy as an example. They're logging your personal identifiers, your name, your phone number, your address, your email, your driver's license number, your signature, device identifiers such as your phone or smartwatch's MAC address. They're sussing out your age, gender, citizenship, race, marital status, household income, education, unemployment information, family health, number of children, credit card numbers, and other payment information, geolocation history, photographs, audio recordings, video recordings, and, if known, background checks and criminal convictions. Oh, hang on, I haven't even gotten to the creepy part yet. Inferences, aka your behavior and preferences from your shopping patterns, intelligence, and aptitude. And they reserve the right to share any and all of this with third parties, including but not limited to, you guessed it. It's been reported that police departments have been running queries and sharing Flock Safety's data with ICE. Some Home Depot and Lowe's locations are also Flock Safety customers, and they have also been known to share Flock Safety's data with law enforcement. It might be safe to assume that some of the immigration raids happening at Home Depot and Lowe's locations may be connected to this honeypot of data. So when an immigrant picks up some construction supplies before work, the store will then send the license plate and vehicle identification data to Flock Safety. That would trigger an alert on the hot list, and just like that, masked men arrive and pick up the Venezuelan day laborer with no criminal record and ship them off to a prison camp in El Salvador. What? Like, why? Can't y'all just fucking sell tools?
Okay. So yeah, be careful what you wish for. Big government, this is what big government does. But I'm going to say the stores are not sending data to ICE. They're not sending data to police. What's actually happening from what I can see is you have the ability to open up these cameras to law enforcement. Meaning when law enforcement goes on to look at the Flock network, let's say, they see their cameras and whoever else is also sharing, neighboring communities, HOAs, parking lots for Lowe's. So yeah, I guarantee you that ICE was using these they probably red flagged license plates that they knew of illegal immigrants. And when they saw them in the parking lot or were seeing them coming in and out of the parking lot, hey, let's do a raid here. Now, as much as it almost sells me on some of this technology because, they're illegal aliens. They should leave the country. I still don't think, no. There's other ways we can do it. What do you think?
Yeah, no, you give up a little bit of freedom for safety. You don't deserve either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like that ICE is able to use it, but
I don't like that ICE is able to use it at the same time. I get it, but I don't. That's so. Just to defend, like what he's giving it to Lowe's and in Walmart, which I'm sure they're not like these innocent companies, but I don't think they're actively sending information to law enforcement.
No, I don't think that. I think
they share their cameras.
Yeah, right. But like, I don't have a issue with a private company putting up cameras. right?
And sharing it with law enforcement. Like, I don't mind
sharing it. I mean, okay, so they're sharing it with law enforcement. Oh gosh, I'm a little. I'm torn with that because.
Yeah.
Why did they get the cameras to protect their stores, right?
Yeah, to make your parking lot. To make your parking lot safer.
Mm-hmm.
But B, if you got somebody maybe stealing something, running out to their car, you probably have their license plate on file somewhere.
Right.
But if they leave it open to law enforcement, so can law enforcement. They can flag a license plate, and if it shows up in your parking lot, it'll tell them it was there, even though it's not their camera.
Cool. That's not cool.
Right. So you can turn that off. And part of that deflock, it'll show you who they're sharing with. And if you start clicking on it, I saw some videos of somebody going through the site and clicking on it and showing some of the features to it. And it was like, holy cow. It's like, you click on it where they're sharing it and it shows like a 3D map with arrows pointing, like looping to other cities. And it's like a spider web going everywhere. It's crazy. But most are sharing it.
This deflock.org is pretty, the site is amazing.
Yeah.
My little city's got like 15 or 16 cameras.
Yeah. And now I see them everywhere.
Yeah, I thought I knew my city had them. I just didn't realize where. I mean, there's one like literally 500 feet from my house.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, so here's where Ben loses me to some extent, because it's similar to the News Channel 5 article. It's like, well, if you're a law-abiding citizen, what do you have to worry about?
Yeah, until the law changes or
you have a mask man, or you have a mandate for vaccines, and then track you. Did you actually go get your vaccine, or where were you? Where are these people? Where are all the non-vaccinated people at? Let's tie license plate data with vaccination status, and we can find out exactly where all the
things can change quickly, and all of a sudden you've been a law-abiding citizen, but something retarded happens.
So listen to his twist here, because he brings in Europe, and of course the music has been throughout this whole thing, and it's not horrible, it's not too intrusive, but it is kind of,
it's a little annoying.
It's a little annoying, but you can also tell where he's going with doom and gloom, and it's nice and happy. Which again, I go back and forth. I don't know. Would you rather have no music and just him talking? Because I don't know. Some cases
it's hard when you're using it as a reaction.
Sure. Yeah. So let's hear when Ben loses the plot a little bit, is what I call it.
Everywhere in the European Union, your data privacy is treated and recognized as a fundamental human right. Their general data protection regulation requires you to explicitly opt in before your personal data can be logged or collected. And this provides the framework for similar protections in the UK, Japan, Brazil, Argentina, Switzerland, South Korea, Canada, India, even China, and so on. And in the majority of these countries, these protections are extraterritorial, meaning that even though Google or Facebook are American companies or services, they'll need to become and remain compliant to those rules if they want to continue doing business in those countries. There is no reasonable need to try and disrupt license plate readers in these places, because your health information, your social media activity, your facial expressions and sentiment while standing in line at Walmart aren't being bundled with them and then leased to law enforcement.
Is he high? Has he not noticed what's going on in England right now?
Right.
Because the data, what he's saying is, because private companies don't have the access and can't sell our data without our permission in Europe, then there's no reason to worry about these flock cameras. Because he trusts the companies in Europe, even though they're the same companies he doesn't trust in America. So they're going to do the right thing because the law said so. Oh, Ben, it is where lefties always go. But I mean, it's fine as long as, you don't do anything wrong. Okay, so that's bad enough. So here we have, 2 years ago, 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 We've got cameras tracking you, virtually tailing you if they want to, with no warrant, logging license plates compared to dents, scratches, bumper stickers, make and model of car, time and date, all this crazy. I mean, it makes you want to get that cabin up on the top of the mountain and just load it with guns, right? How could it get? Don't give away your secret plan. How could it get any worse? Well, so any tech nowadays is not 100% secure. That'd be fair to say. There's almost no tech that can be 100% secure, especially when you're tying into a network. Would you agree to that?
Yes.
Yeah. So how good is Flock security? Well, let's see what Ben has to say about it. I'm sure it's great.
You may remember me from this video where I told you about 40,000 of these things that your tax dollars pay for that are tracking your every move and repurposing data collected about you every time that you drive past them. Upon further investigation, it turns out that there are over 80,000 of them. And we
7
got
months ago.
some and we hacked them. You can press a button a few times on the back of these cameras and within a few minutes, turn them into your own personal spy device or malware host or honeypot that steals people's login credentials or a cryptocurrency miner, whatever you want, really.
What?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, it's just the start of it. So this is the intro to one. I was going to go on to this video next, and then I saw another one after this. But this is the intro to that. I'm like, oh, well, this can't be good. So he goes on through this video and like makes his own reader, and actually it does it in the first one too. Let's finish this.
Or alternatively, how you can point an antenna at them and decode the video stream using a technique used by the CIA during the Cold War. Or how another researcher found a Google search phrase that had the capabilities of showing you the real-time location of these cameras and police patrol cars. This isn't clickbait or an exaggerated claim with no payoff. Just the other day, weeks before this video will be released, U.S. senators and representatives drafted an official letter to open an investigation that highlights the national security risks associated with our findings. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how they work.
So then he goes through the video, takes apart cameras and doesn't show you how, but gives you an idea of how easy it is to break into a lot of these cameras, to the point where they're saying it actually takes longer for you to connect. I forget what it said. It's like seconds in a lot of cases. But it could get even worse. Even worser, Tom. Even worser, more worser. Because what if there's no passwords on any of these things?
A few weeks ago, using a commercial search engine, I very easily found the administration interfaces for dozens of Flock safety cameras. I shared this information with 404 Media, and with John Gaines' help, that number quickly grew to nearly 70. None of the data or video footage was encrypted. There was no username or password required. These were all completely public-facing for the world to see, and some of them still are. You don't have to be an expert to find and gain access to this. You don't even have to type anything in to see every single person, vehicle, and activity that took place in these locations in the last 31 days. Whether you wanted to watch this footage live in real time or look at footage from a month ago, you could just point and click your way to it like you were watching Netflix. You could even open up the live streams in VLC or cast it to a television. Making any modification to the cameras is illegal, so I didn't do this, but I had the ability to delete any of the video footage or evidence by simply pressing a button. I could see the paths where all of the evidence files were located on the file system, and I could see their hashes and signatures. Some of the devices we saw were the familiar-looking Falcon cameras that you see all over the country, but the majority of these were Flock's new Condor cameras, which are designed to detect and track people. They're PTZ cameras, meaning pan, tilt, zoom, and they quite literally use AI to zoom in and follow you around whether you're a person of interest or not. In just the time that it took to count and verify these...
Oh, listen, so check, this is what he saw in the time that he was just researching how, what these cameras, these are cameras that are open to the internet. They're streaming on the internet. I don't think there's you can't go on flock.com or whatever and go see them. But if you're good enough at searching, you can find out where these cameras are. And see, just in the meantime, he was kind of poking around. Here's what he saw. It's creepy.
vulnerabilities, I saw a family in North Carolina load their infant and a bunch of merchandise in a Lowe's parking lot. And I suppose one could cross-reference their license plate with the Park Mobile data breach and find out exactly where the garage is that will store these new fancy tools. I watched a man leave his house in the morning in New York. I watched a woman jogging alone on a forest trail in Georgia. This trail had multiple cameras, and I could watch a man rollerblade and then take a break to watch rollerblading videos on his phone. How? Because the camera's AI automatically zoomed in on it. Just like it zoomed in on a couple arguing at a street market in Atlanta. So what? They're still anonymous, right?
Mm-hmm. But they're anonymous, Tom.
Right.
Right?
Sure.
Right? No, it gets creepier. Because maybe they're not anonymous. Because, we live in this world today where you can get almost any information online. So let's see.
No, they're not. Within 2 minutes of open source intelligence using a commercial facial recognition engine, I found out that one of them just finished medical school and the other is dealing with chronic irritable bowel syndrome. The couple also just had a baby last year and they have a pretty concerning debt to income ratio. I also know that they drove over 45 minutes from their address in the suburbs to attend church in Atlanta that morning, and then they checked out this market and bought a sweater. I watched a law enforcement officer and ambulance escort a man having a mental health crisis in Iowa. I know this because the Cedar Rapids Police Department maintains a public database of every single emergency call in the city, as well as daily arrest reports with individuals' names, addresses, ages, and genders. Heaven. Listen, I know that I'm being creepy right now. Just saying these words out loud nauseates me. But I'm trying to show you just a fraction of the information that anyone in the world with access to a commercial search engine has had regarding anyone who attended this market or walked on this trail in the last 31 days. And it gets worse. Here's an exposed flock safety camera permanently pointed at a playground near the Bay Area in California, openly and publicly broadcasting both live and archived video footage of young children playing unattended. Again, just saying this stuff out loud feels so incredibly wrong.
Yeah, because it is. Now, they've found like 70 or 80 of these cameras that are completely open. There's no password, no login, nothing. And so, of course, he is, he's starting to get some attention. Cops showing up at his house, strange cars parked outside of on his street, neighbors concerned about all these cars, strange cars with people sitting in them, parking on his street. He thinks the cops are getting upset, or they're trying to check, and he thinks he's got private detectives or somebody. And he's showing some video of this, and we'll have the videos in the show notes on crookedrivercast.com, where you can check out the blog, and there'll be all of our kind of clips on there. You can watch these videos in full, because there's a lot of stuff I'm not putting in there, and a lot of the visuals are pretty good. If you've had any experience with flock cameras, you can always send us an email at crookedrivercast@gmail.com and tell us your experience, good or bad, and tell us what you think about this, because it's a little wacky. So, what does Flock say? Well, let's see what Ben has. See what Ben has come up with to see what Flock has said, because he has an interesting way of, bringing it to us.
I've been contacted by people on or communicating with civic councils who found my videos concerning, and they shared Flock Safety's response with me. The company claimed that the devices in my video did not reflect the security standards of the ones being publicly deployed. The CEO even posted on LinkedIn and boasted about Flock Safety's security policies. So I formally and publicly offered to personally fund security research into Flock Safety's deployed ecosystem. But the law prevents me from touching their live devices, so all I needed was their permission so I wouldn't get arrested, and I was even willing to let them supervise this research. I got no response. But now, since the general public has access to live video feeds from search engines, let's just save the back and forth, and I'll literally read you Flock Safety's response to IPVM about their security from a brand new Flock Safety camera that's publicly deployed. Might as well. It's my tax dollars that paid for it.
So he's reading this in front
Flock
of
is
the
committed
Flock
to
camera.
continuously improving security.
That is
the
open
devices
to the
in this YouTube video were not connected to the cloud, and to the best of our knowledge, not customer installed. So the security is akin to factory setting. It's like looking at an iPhone stolen off a truck before it was ever connected to the cloud.
While he's doing this, the camera sees two women walking all the way in the background. And it moves off of him and starts zooming in on the women walking in the background. So he has to cut the video so that the women can pass, because it does a quick edit, so the women can pass, so it focuses on him instead of the women pass. I was like, oh cow. So yeah, the point, and that's why he shows the video of the guy. It's pretty funny. The guy's rollerblading, and then he stops to watch rollerblading videos. And as he stopped, the camera's like above him, and they zoom in. You could see what's on his screen, what he's watching. And this Flock's like, there's nothing to see here, of course.
Cloud. If a person were able to gain physical access to the device leased to the city, which is illegal, they still would not be able to gain access to the footage, as the data is only stored for a very limited time duration on the device following its transmission to the cloud. None of these vulnerabilities affect our cloud platform, where the vast majority of all evidence and metadata is stored.
As he was doing it on their cloud platform, as he
right.
is. Okay. I got one more clip. Thoughts?
I'm boarding up my house. I'm not leaving.
I'm telling you, this is insanity. It's bad enough if the cops were doing this, but it's not the cops. That's kind of his whole point to this, and it's kind of his dystopian point to it, I think, is, if it wasn't for private business, it'd be okay. No, it wouldn't be. But this makes it even worse. Are you kidding me? They're collecting all this data and they're selling it. They're selling it 2 or 3 different ways. I guarantee you. They're making money off the cops in the cities, and they're selling it to this, that, whoever else they can compile it and give them information, and they can sell them.
Like, such as?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Well, you could sell to advertising.
Yeah, okay.
You could sell, just as
it's like your Facebook, you're the product. Facebook isn't the product.
Like you said, so you buy a car or a truck, it has GPS in it, tracking you. And Ford and all of the other ones, I'm sure, take that data they collected and they sell it to insurance companies, advertisers, whoever. It's a whole other revenue stream for them. So start tying this stuff into license plate data, along with the scratches and the stickers and all the stuff you went over through Walmart. They're taking all this video data from their stores and compiling it so they can try to figure out how to sell you better. And then what after they've done with that, they're probably compiling it, saying, who can we sell this to? The advertisers, different companies. Hey, look, they walk past your competitors, they don't walk to yours. They see your competitors first. You should change your label. Give us $1 million. And having this stuff just able to, I think the cameras we're just hearing about, these 60 or 70, are the exception. Maybe it seems like this was an error. I think later on in some of the videos, Flock had said, these were cameras that mistakenly went out with SIM cards that weren't password protected. Okay. But the problem is nobody's allowed to check this stuff because you got it so locked down. Has anyone done an independent audit of any of these? No, they're not allowed to. You literally can't without Flock's permission. So I'm pretty sure Ben lives in Georgia. He keeps bringing up Georgia. A lot of these cameras that he was shown were in Georgia. And so what do we do? Boarding up your house is one thing, but you eventually have to leave. Right, Tom? You're eventually going to have to leave. So boarding it up isn't necessarily the answer. Or, nowadays, I guess you don't. You can always send out for delivery for groceries.
I got to go to work, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then you got to pay for those groceries. But, so what Ben has been getting is bombarded, it sounds like, after these videos, by communities, activist groups, trying to convince their city council to get rid of these cameras or don't put them in to begin with. And he's like, one of the reasons he wants to put out more videos is he's putting out more videos. He says is because he can't be everywhere. He's got a lot of people requesting. So here's an example, real quick, before we wrap up. Of he's at a city council meeting in Dunwood, Georgia, at a city council meeting, going over what he's found, and then you'll see Flock's response to it.
About a year ago, I started formally researching the security posture of the police surveillance industry. Myself, John Gaines, and Joshua Michael found close to 60 security vulnerabilities within or closely related to Flock Safety's ecosystem. We were able to...
All right, hold on. That's not talking about the cameras we were just talking about that were just open. He's talking about at least 60 security flaws in their software or system, either with Flock's system or in systems closely related to Flock. That's separate to the cameras we just talked about that were just wide open streaming to the internet. This is every Flock cameras, he's saying, that has this software has these 50 or 60 vulnerabilities. That's why I go back to no tech is 100% secure. It just makes it even worse.
Connect to and completely take control of the ALPR cameras. We could view or modify the footage. We could install malware on them. We could view the hard-coded credentials that led to other places. And there was even one that allowed us to track the real-time GPS location of police vehicles. I published a selfie video, literally pulled from one of the newly deployed Flock cameras right down the road at Peachtree Creek Greenway, and showcased how easily I was able to access zoomed-in footage of every single person who walked on that trail over the last 30 days without using a password. Some of these findings were reported to Flock directly, and some of them are now published and flagged by MITRE, which is part of Homeland Security to manage cybersecurity threats. Some of these are still rated today as high or critical vulnerabilities. Members of U.S. Congress have cited my research in a published letter to the FTC calling for a formal investigation into Flock's negligence as a risk to national security. So how did Flock respond to all of this? Fake news. The CEO himself claimed that Flock had never been hacked, and he spent his time sending unsolicited emails to law enforcement agencies around the country, telling them that their agency was under coordinated attack by activist groups who want to defund the police, weaken public safety, and normalize lawlessness. This was Flock's response to a formal report about security vulnerabilities. I watched Flock representatives stand up at City Hall meetings just like this one, look people dead in the eyes, and despite evidence verified by MITRE, claim that Flock has never been hacked.
A few minutes later.
There are not documented breaches online. There's documented attempts to intrude on a single camera online. And that is like saying if someone hacks into your iPhone, Apple has been breached. It's simply a different concept.
I'm sitting over here fidgeting while your surveillance vendor keeps changing the definitions of data and security breach. So now we're all here, and we could go to the nearest Falcon camera right now, and I will lend you a laptop and walk you through the quick process of seeing if just one of these vulnerabilities have been fixed. I want someone to help me understand, given the evidence that we produced, how anyone would think that signing more contracts with any third-party surveillance vendor would be a good idea without setting up an independent security and ethics audit first. I can't open a barbershop or a Chick-fil-A without a safety inspection.
Exactly. You can't take a crap. Actually, in some cities, you can take a crap on the sidewalk. Shoot.
I've seen it.
Yeah. Never mind. And it's permitted. Yep. But you don't need a permit to put up a camera. You don't need any civic approval. It's just whatever your city council thinks is right. And with the sales pitch that these guys have, these companies, you almost can't. They almost can't say no. And I don't see how people aren't more outraged. I just don't think many people know about it. But do you think they would get outraged when they do? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think most people are wrapped in, well, I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Until you do.
Until something changes and you are doing something wrong.
Yeah, until you do something wrong, but you don't know you're doing it wrong because something's changed. And I guess the only way to combat this is to go to your city council meetings. Local. It's kind of It's the only thing you can do. Get them on record. And when your city gets a $1 million lawsuit because the AI screwed up the license plate read, they can be on record saying, no, I'm for all this, even with the risks. And then with the way city budgets are, could Colorado, or I think it was, I forget where in Colorado, you think they had $1.5 million just in surplus? No, that probably meant they cut something else out of services, or didn't fix a road or two because they had to pay this family for the lawsuit as the cops, wrongly accused them of stealing a car. But it's not Flock. Flock's completely washed their hands of the whole situation. Freaking ridiculous. Anyway, that's Flock.
You should check out your city's, local city's website.
Yeah.
My city has a Flock portal, transparency portal.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It says, yeah, mine does, at least.
It
gives you how many unique plate reads over the last 30 days, how long data is retained, it's 30 days, number of searches, total user search sessions over the last 30 days, and hot lists alerted on, and number of hot list hits. Hot list being NCIC, NCMEC, or that's the Amber Alert.
Oh,
I don't know what NCIC is.
I don't know. But do they tell you whether they're sharing their information with any other law enforcement?
Let's see. Policy and trust. What is not detected? Facial, people, gender, race. What's detected? It's vehicles and plates. Data is only used for law enforcement. Data is owned by North Royalton and is never sold to third parties.
Okay.
It's not allowed to be used for immigration enforcement, traffic enforcement, harassment, or intimidation. I mean, these are policies, so.
Sure, you still have to catch them if they do it.
Yeah. All system access requires a valid reason and is stored indefinitely. Hot list policy. Hot list hits are required to be human verified prior to action and public search audit. I can download searches performed over the last 30 days.
Okay. So you have some transparency.
So there's a little bit of transparency here. So I would suggest everybody check what their local police department does with this info.
Yeah, it's a good catch. I didn't see. Just looking at my city, if there's anything. How did you even find that? You just search Google for it, or did you go on the city website?
Yes, what I did was I did a Flock camera security search, and it kind of I just Googled it, and then it asked if I want to know more about like my local neighborhood.
Yeah, I have to look into that.
Kind of like the smart search or whatever the AI search.
Yeah.
You could probably go on Grok or anywhere. And then I typed in North Royalton, how many cameras does it have? Because I was counting 20 on that DFlock thing, but a handful of them were like right on the border. So I'm thinking it might have been another city. We have 10 in our city. And there's a 60-month contract signed back in, 5-year contract signed back in 2022. And then there's a bullet point that says transparency, and it sent me right to the northroyalton.gov. Oh, I just told everybody where I live.
Oh, well.
But I went to that, and then there's a link on the main page, on the police department page.
Yeah, they've been in my community for quite a few years now. I'm looking at.
Yeah.
2-year contract, $31,000 contract. This is in 2023. Includes installation and maintenance of 5 cameras.
That's it?
Which read
vehicle
colors, types, and license plates.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my neighboring city's got a shit ton of them that I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, he does bring up in the first I think one of the first videos at the end that he thinks he figured out a way to stop it or to fool it. And he did. If you go back and watch the full video, he'll go through a lot of it. What he tears apart a camera. He actually tore apart a police attached license camera that he bought off auction because he didn't want to use that actual camera that Motorola makes to maybe get sued. So he actually, because he's a geek, a nerd, he disassembled it, analyzed it, and built his own. So like Raspberry Pi and this and that. And it's basically a camera. They taught the computer to all the different things. You got to look for the vehicle, then you got to look for the license plate and all this other stuff. And what he's found out was, first of all, the software they're using that a lot of or at least some of the police or law enforcement are using is not great. It's got really low. It's crappy is what he said. So he's used some other stuff to make it better, make it easier. He actually made one that's what he feels is better than what's generally out there. And what he's come to the conclusion is, you can cover your license plate, but you'll get pulled over.
Right.
He designed a sticker that will go over your license plate that has a little flex, he kind of figured out where the AI kind of got screwed up on.
I think they sell paint like this too.
Well, the paint is, I've looked at that because when I take one of my kids to school, I drive past a school zone and I've gotten hit by it. The reflective stuff, it's reflective as far as I understand it. It will overexpose, especially on a flash.
Right.
Overexpose the license plate. It's extra reflective coating. This, he actually tried to figure out how the AI screwed up on some of because he made his own license plate called POO 5000, POO 5000. So a pretty easy plate to recognize, a lot of zeros and O's in it. So he kind of figured out where the AI was screwing up on some of these and kind of recreated that. So it's actually a clear sticker with like these little flecks of squares and rectangles on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't, it's hard to notice that it's on there.
Right.
But it totally screws the AI up.
Okay.
But in most communities, you are permitted from obscuring or putting anything over your license plate.
You're not permitted.
You're not permitted to, yes. Prohibited, I should say. You're prohibited. So a lot of people you see put like tinted covers on there. That's technically illegal too.
Right.
So this would be considered in most cases, I guarantee, in my opinion, that even you put this little thing, and all you all saw was a couple of square, like stuck off from the one side of the 5 and a little like kind of almost what he brings up is I mean, almost like throwing some mud on your license plate.
So if a police car is behind you and they're going to run your plate, can you see it at night when the lights are?
I don't think they'd be able to see it from the car.
Yeah.
But a lot of police cars now have automatic plate readers where the cop will just trigger it and it grabs the plate.
That's true. Yeah.
So if it wasn't grabbing the plate, he then would probably pull you over. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And then if he would take you a second, you would actually have to look at the license plate. At a glance, you probably wouldn't know. At a glance, it looked like it was dirty. And he said, and I'm thinking, well, just throw some mud on it every once in a while.
Yeah. I like my vehicle clean.
No, I know. I'm thinking, the other thing I thought was if you can get a license plate frame that is not rectangle and fit it to where your license plate goes, which I think in most cases you probably can't. But it looks for the rectangle. It looks for, I think it says it looks for a windshield rectangle, like headlight rectangles, and then the license plate.
Right.
So if you made the license plate a triangle or a star, like the cover around it, it may not recognize it.
Yeah, until the local police pull you over because of something's being blocked or.
Well, yes, it's still you're still poking the law, but by the letter of the law, you have not covered or changed your license plate or whatever. You just have a weird shaped. We'll get oval license plate cover.
Yeah, but you're just poking the law at that point. I'd rather not poke the law.
Yeah,
and deal with the camera.
Get rid of the damn cameras. Yeah.
The camera should be something that the citizens of the city can argue their points and get rid of them if they feel necessary.
And then something that wasn't really brought up real quick is with the insecurities of these cameras, how good are they in court? How reliable can you?
I don't even think it's used in court. What for? It's not catching a crime. It's just reading plates. So if they catch you, they catch you. If they use it to catch you.
Right. They use it to say you were in this area at this time. That's what they would use it for, probably. But how do you know that wasn't put in there or wasn't edited or?
Yeah. No, okay. I understand what you're saying, but you should have an alibi most likely.
It shouldn't be admissible as evidence if it's that easy to break into them and change it, delete, add. Like let alone the mistakes the AI is making.
Well, you should be able to audit the info.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things. I don't like the cameras to begin with. It seems,
intrusive.
Oh, it's completely. You're just taking pictures of everybody. Yeah, everybody's license plate.
And the thing is, it's not really taking pictures. It's not keeping. It's not. I don't think it keeps pictures, does it?
For a month.
It keeps the information, but
it keeps the picture for a month.
Okay,
that's what he was going on and seeing.
Yeah, all right.
He had 31 days of video.
Yeah, that's crazy.
These trail cameras or these point, tilt, and zoom cameras, and the flock ones are the same. Keep it. I think it's 30 days. But I guess it would give a good lawyer or something to pick at if that was part of your evidence in some case somewhere. But it also give a good way for a criminal to get out of his crime by saying, "Whoops, these flock cameras are insecure. How can you?" But anyway, did you show a little different today? If you made it all the way to the end, we thank you very much. Anything else you want to say, Tom?
No.
Flock you.
Make sure you get involved. People need to get involved.
Yeah. This is,
I'll be honest, man. They passed this in my city and I didn't even know about it until after they were installed. So,
yep.
I can say get involved, but you got to just do it. You got to go to your council meetings once in a while.
Yeah, whenever that council meeting was passed, there was probably 4 people, if you're lucky, in the whole place.
I doubt it. I've been to a couple of them, and 4 or 5 people at the most.
I know. I've been to a couple. Man, they're very frustrating.
They're boring. Yeah. There's way too much procedure without substance. It's awful.
Frustrating to see how government works.
Yeah.
But in some cases, being slow and antiquated is probably okay. But like I said, check out the blog. You can watch all these videos in full, plus see a couple of articles, and keep an eye on it because they're happening everywhere. And like I said, it's been a week and it's gone up by like 20,000 cameras or something. That's crazy.
You know what? I think a lot of council meetings now you could do on video, right?
Yeah.
So you don't even have to go there.
Yeah.
Unless they want to hear from you. Unless you want to say something.
Right. Yeah.
But you could at least kind of keep tabs on them.
Yeah. Who voted for what? But put some stats, put some information at them and say, look, here's what's going on. How secure are you? How confident? I like the way your city was doing it. Transparent, but
yeah, I got to say my city's pretty. We're a suburb of a large metropolitan area, but it's kind of on the outskirts. We're right on the border of
country,
of a more rural based area, so it's not bad.
Yeah, I don't think Cleveland's that transparent, but I'd be interested to take a look.
Actually, that's true. Everybody go out there and look.
Yeah, go check it out and let us know. Crookedrivercast@gmail.com. How transparent is your city? Whether it be Cleveland, Akron, Canton, Columbus, whatever. Let us know what you're finding out there, and we can add to the conversation. But on that note, I think that's all we got today, Tom. I think that's enough for everybody.
Yeah.
It's enough. You're welcome. I ruined your Monday. Just imagine how many flock cameras you passed up on your way to work this morning.
That's a scary thing to think about right there.
But we thank you for listening. If you made it all this far, again, I say thank you very much. We appreciate crookedrivercast@gmail.com, crookedrivercast.com for the blog. Comes out when the show drops. And on a happy note, talk to you next week.
Peace.